22 consecutive matches without dropping a single set. A 19-year-old Canadian dismantled 4 Grand Slam champions in 1 week. They were the elite of women's tennis. The tour treated her like a temporary hot streak. She was already the new reality. Victoria Mboko jumped 323 ranking spots in just over 12 months. We watched her turn from a promising teenager outside the spotlight into the biggest tennis story in the country overnight. That surge happened at a speed women's tennis has not seen in decades. Players usually spend years climbing through the rankings and slowly proving themselves against elite competition. Mboko skipped most of that process entirely. A staggering climb turned her from world number 333 into a top 10 player. That trajectory makes her rise one of the most dramatic breakthroughs the WTA Tour has witnessed since the early 1990s. The engine driving this rise is not a lucky draw. It is sustained excellence. At the start of 2025, Mboko destroyed the level beneath her. She captured 4 consecutive ITF titles. Every match strengthened her belief that she belonged among the best players in the world. This was systematic domination. Her game is built around explosive baseline power. Coaches and analysts consistently point to her ability to dictate rallies with heavy ground strokes. Opponents quickly discovered that giving her time was dangerous. She takes control of points from either wing and applies relentless pressure. Power alone does not explain a historic ranking surge. Women's tennis has seen many hard hitters over the years. What separates Mboko is her composure. Even during the biggest moments of her breakthrough season, she rarely appeared overwhelmed. Facing higher-ranked opponents in front of larger crowds, she maintained a calm presence. Coaches often associate that mindset with experienced veterans rather than teenagers. That combination of aggression and emotional control proved devastating. The numbers from the lower levels were staggering. She put together a 22-match winning streak across the ITF circuit. She won 42 consecutive sets during that opening stretch. That level of dominance is almost impossible to sustain in professional tennis. Every week brings different conditions and different challenges. Mboko kept producing the exact same result. Opponents entered matches hoping to be competitive. Most left wondering how they had been overwhelmed so quickly. This was not a player surviving difficult moments through favorable draws. When rivals attempted to attack, she absorbed the pace and redirected it. When they defended, she stepped forward and finished points. There was no obvious weakness to target. The confidence carried into March when she added another title in Porto. The top 200 barrier disappeared as her ranking surged to number 156. Reaching that tier is a career milestone for many athletes. For Mboko, it was merely the next step. By May, she built a remarkable 33-3 record. 33 wins and only 3 defeats reflected far more than raw talent. It reflected maturity and repeatability. The ITF circuit served its purpose by providing the required platform. Some players scraped through the development system by winning close matches. Others dominate so thoroughly that everyone starts paying attention immediately. Mboko belonged firmly in that second category. She was ready for the main tour. Then came the tournament that changed everything. At just 18 years old, she arrived at the National Bank Open in Montreal as a wildcard. She was ranked outside the top 50. At the beginning of the year, she had been ranked outside the top 300. Instead of simply enjoying the experience, she produced one of the most memorable runs in recent WTA history. We saw her draw former Australian Open champion Sofia Kenin. She beat her. We saw her face Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina. She ended Rybakina's 9-match winning streak. The deeper the tournament went, the more unbelievable the story became. One after another, established champions stood across the net. One after another, they walked away defeated. The semi-final against Rybakina perfectly captured her determination. After losing the opening set badly and facing a match point, she fought back. Point by point, she clawed her way back into the match. What looked like a certain defeat slowly transformed into one of the biggest victories of her young career. The comeback lasted nearly 3 hours. She then stunned top-seeded Coco Gauff 6-1, 6-4. In the final, she defeated Naomi Osaka. Osaka took the first set and appeared to hold all the momentum. Mboko responded by raising her level. Her movement became sharper and her confidence grew. She captured the second set and completely took control of the third. An 18-year-old wildcard entered her home tournament and defeated 4 Grand Slam champions. The accomplishment placed her in exceptionally rare company. Only Serena Williams had achieved a comparable incomparable feat at a younger age. That statistic alone explains why the tennis world suddenly began paying attention. The victories were not flukes. Her power translated seamlessly to the biggest stages. Her confidence remained intact under massive pressure. Her tactical decision-making improved with each passing round. The deeper she advanced, the more people realized they were not watching a prospect anymore. They were watching a future star arrive in real time. Rick Maxey watched her play and immediately compared the fearlessness to Serena Williams. He called her the real deal. He helped shape Serena, Venus, and Maria Sharapova. He has spent decades identifying greatness before the rest of the world sees it. He believes she is on a path toward becoming a Grand Slam champion. Maxey predicts she can reach the top 5. He sees the same explosive first strike and athletic recovery. She does not step onto the court hoping to compete. She steps onto the court expecting to win. Patrick Mouratoglou independently expressed confidence in her future. He stated it is difficult to imagine a future where she does not eventually win major titles. When multiple coaching legends arrive at similar conclusions independently, we pay attention. Former world number 1 Andy Roddick expects her to win a Grand Slam within the next 2 years. This is not being discussed as a possibility sometime in the distant future. Many experts believe it could happen very soon. The mentality separates her from other prospects. Her longtime coach Pierre Lamarche said she is fearless. She plays the exact same way she did at 12 years old. Some players start protecting their ranking as the stage gets bigger. Mboko swings like the scoreboard owes her nothing. At the start of 2026, she held a 4-1 record in matches that required a final set. Deciding sets reveal who trusts their game when fatigue appears and tension rises. Some players tighten up, and Mboko loosens up. In Adelaide, she stayed composed after losing the second set to defeat Madison Keys. She took the third set 6-2. Keys has spent years winning matches on the biggest stages and knows how to pressure younger players. Mboko also defeated Mira Andreeva in a deciding set tiebreak in Doha. Nerves usually determine the outcome when two young stars meet. Mboko delivered under the ultimate pressure. Coco Gauff noted her emotional control and ability to stay positive. That composure proved devastating against veteran opponents. The foundation of this rise sits on her family support. As the daughter of Congolese immigrants, she grew up in an environment where hard work was non-negotiable. Her father worked demanding shifts as an engineer while helping support her tennis dreams. Long drives to practices and tournaments became part of family life. Competing against her older siblings taught her how to adapt. She learned how to lose and how to fight for every single point. Those experiences developed her competitive edge long before she reached the main tour. Former world number 3 Nathalie Tauziat has been instrumental in refining her game. Tauziat emphasized tactical awareness over raw power. Success depends on knowing when to attack, when to defend, and how to adjust during difficult moments. The Canadian teenager learned how to adjust on the fly. Her season included multiple WTA titles and a third-round French Open appearance. She captured the Hong Kong Trophy. She finished the year with a 60-14 overall record. This consistency separates genuine breakthroughs from temporary surprises. We saw the conversation shift from whether she could reach the top 100 to whether she could become a top 10 player. She answered each question faster than anyone expected. She reached the top 10 roughly 357 days after entering the top 200. That trajectory makes her rise the fastest since Jennifer Capriati in 1990. At 19, she is the youngest to join that elite group since Andreeva. The Montreal victory made her the 4th Canadian woman ever to reach the WTA top 10. She instantly joined Bianca Andreescu and Eugenie Bouchard in that exclusive club. That accomplishment carries significance beyond individual achievement. It reflects the continued growth of Canadian tennis. The Canadian crowd watched a homegrown teenager complete a dream run. The ingredients sound like a movie script. She turned them into reality. She owns 4 victories over active top 10 opponents. She beat Gauff, Rybakina, Keys, and Andreeva. Those are not favorable matchups against declining veterans. They are victories against players capable of winning major titles right now. To be part of the top 10, you must beat the top 10. Mboko proved her ranking reflects reality rather than momentum. Every step upward was supported by actual performance. The true confirmation arrived in Doha, when a 19-year-old blasts through Jelena Ostapenko 6-3, 6-2. That is a warning shot. Ostapenko creates chaos with a racket and turns matches into target practice. She does not care about a younger player's momentum. Mboko did not blink. She played like someone who had already decided she belonged on that court. She sealed her top 10 debut and suddenly held the most match wins on the tour in 2026. The scouting report keeps getting longer. Most young players enter the tour with one weapon. Mboko can serve big, turn defense into offense, slice and drop shot. She finishes at the net with calm precision. Coach Jessie Levine noted she uses athleticism both to survive and to attack. Pushing her back results in a deep return. Floating one short means she steps in and closes the court. Giving her pace means she uses it. Attacking her movement means she recovers fast. Trying to outlast her means facing an opponent who does not seem to get tired. The locker room is struggling to decipher her patterns. Finding an obvious target is difficult. Some young players carry hype like a physical weight. Mboko accepts the chaos. Pressure acts as just another rally condition for her. Wind, crowd, opponent, and scoreboard are just variables. This veteran emotional control combined with first strike power gives the tour a massive problem. The next phase involves defending ranking points. Opponents now view her as a target rather than an underdog. She appears equipped for that challenge. She is still young and has substantial room for growth. Her serve can improve and her point construction can get cleaner. Her tactical understanding will deepen. Coaches are not evaluating only the current version of her game. They are imagining what she might become after several more years of development. The projection is extraordinary. Winning a Grand Slam requires navigating 2 weeks of relentless pressure against world-class opponents. The believers keep multiplying. Name one teenager in the last decade who beat 4 active top 10 players and 4 Grand Slam champions in their breakout window without the locker room calling it a fluke. 1. We will wait. The tour usually exposes a hole in a young player's game. With Mboko, there is no obvious answer. Very few teenagers walk onto a big stage and make a world number 2 like Gorf look uncomfortable from the first game. Her match against Keys revealed a mental reset ability. Most players learn that trait in their mid-20s. She showed it at 19. Doha confirmed everything. The physical tools are obvious, but the mentality triggers the real alarm bells. The scary young player is the one who wins, learns, and comes back with more answers. This current version is already reaching WTA 1000 finals and sitting in the top 10. The locker room does not want to answer what happens when the next version arrives. Victoria Mboko plays Karolina Muchova in the Qatar Open final. Different rhythm, more craft. A player who disrupts timing and makes opponents solve problems point after point. We are about to find out if the tour has any answers left.